What's up, everyone? This is Ronnie, just coming to you today with a sold video. And before we get into that, if this is the first time coming across this channel, my name is Ronnie Hart. We sell mostly men's clothing, a lot of other different things too. We can make money on, and make sure to like, comment, subscribe on these videos. Also hit the notification button. There's been a lot of questions on a lot of people saying that there's been issues with seeing the videos in their feed or get notifications. So you want to make sure you have that button. Press it's the little bell button. Check the comments and see how everything is working out with it's the chat voice and video is coming through. Does everybody see that okay? How you doing, Swamp, Adam, Michelle? How you guys doing? And I'm gonna say I'm okay, right? Basically, I'll go through the items we sold, and if you have any questions, put them in the chat. I will catch up to the chat in about 10 or 15 minutes after I get through with the items. So if there's any any questions, make sure you leave them in the chat. We'll talk about it. All right. See you guys in a few minutes. All right, here we go. This is an item I sold this morning. This is a FootJoy men's wool line pullover golf sweater, and just it's not really a half zip. I don't know why I have it as a half zip. Probably copied somebody else's listing. It's actually a quarter zip, but it doesn't matter anyway. There's the label right there, FootJoy. It's like an F and a J. I've had this. This was listed for 17 days. I do good to cancel now on my listings. We actually had a bunch of listings that just for some reason weren't listed, so I changed it to good to cancel. And for right now, it seems to have been working. We'll see. I mean, thing is, I can cancel all these listings at any time and relist them eventually. So I was into this on a half off day at the Salvation Army for $3, and it sold for full price of $39.99. We also now do best offer because I cannot run sales in my eBay store. I just price stuff and go with best offer, and it's been working okay for the most part. You still get those lowball people that you just shake your head at, but it's no different than Poshmark or Grail that we've been working on of late too, so no difference there. This is a Luciano Barbera designer men's tie. This was silk green, little paisley design you see right here. Here's the tag. I found 3 or 4 of these ties at a small thrift store. I paid $2 a piece, and this was the first to sell. It took about 6 weeks to sell. Ties are a little bit on the longer tail side. Some sell quick, and then others will take a long tail or take a longer time. Ties in general take a longer time to sell, but it was $2, and we sold this for 30. And like I said, it might take a little bit longer. You may wait a little while, but ties really do not take that much space up, and ties are pretty easy to list. So I'll still go through the ties. I still pick some up, and I'll list them, and I'll wait it out. This was a pair of vintage Fila shorts. These were old. These are probably 70s or 80s. Gretchen actually found these while she was in Florida. She thought they were pretty cool, and you can see right here they were in very good condition. There was some minor pilling on the waistband, but it was also the waist was stretched out a little bit. It was worn out, and there was 2 pin size spots on the band on the itself. You can see right here some of the pictures. This is old Fila like short shorts like there were a little pilling in this area here. Try to get it the best I could. These were older. You see the tag right here. The waistband was stretched out, but there is a following for vintage Fila stuff. Not all Fila stuff will sell. We've done, if you watch this channel over the last year, we've done fairly well with a few different pieces, picking certain ones out here and there. This took 15 days to sell. We paid $3 and we took a best offer at $30 on this. So not bad for a pair of shorts that were had some issues. This is a mizzen and main, I think. It's like a dry fit wicking shirt, full button. It's like a polyester blend. It had this accountant firm on here on the sleeve embroidered. We actually found two of these shirts. I think I paid $6 each, and it was polyester and spandex blend. These were new without tags. You could tell they were never worn. They actually had part of the tag on them. I just cut the tags actually off because they just did not look right. I'm assuming that these were for some event or something due to the accounting firm on the sleeve. This is probably why it took a little bit to sell too. We sold one of them about a month or two ago, and then we sold this one. I took a best offer of $55 on this. It's actually a really good brand. It's a newer brand. They're made in USA, if I remember right. Here's a picture of the tag. Mizzen and Maine, American made. That's what caught my eye. Anytime I see anything American made, it kind of catches my eye. That it might be a little bit better quality. It was a nice little pattern to it. But, it did have this accountant firm, and sometimes when you have stuff with these different embroideries from different places, it does affect the value sometimes. Sometimes not, sometimes yes. Sometimes it will help the value depending on if you get something from a golf course of like Fisher Island or Sea Island, it actually increases the value of that item. These are a pair of Vasquez boots. Great brand to pick up in hiking boots. Little bit of a funny story about this. We had these boots. I paid $8 or $8.50, whatever that price is, at our store, and they seem like really good boot. And I always, I bend the soles of things to see if they work or not. These were up listed for about 6 months or so. We had picked up two pairs. One pair sold in a day, so it paid for both, and I got a lot more money for those. I think I got like 100. These are a little lesser style of boot, and these sold. The guy gave me feedback saying, "Hey, I love the shoes." Da da da. He went out wearing them, and they literally just crumbled and started falling apart. He told me about it. I said, "Send me some pictures." Just from my record, he sent me some pictures, and I was looking over the pictures to make sure they're right boot. A lot of people would argue with somebody, but on the inner side here, you see this little scuff. There's a little like scuff here. I see part of he shows pictures of the boots. I see that scuff. I go, I know they're my shoes. No reason to doubt the guy. Gave him his money back. Like I said, we sold him for 60. I just refunded him his money. I mean, technically, you know, even though he gave me that feedback already, and a day later he wore them and they fell apart. I got to be held responsible for that. Just refund him his money. I don't need the broken pair of boots back. This is a pair of PRPS jeans. Really good pair of jeans. These are kind of really weird, like acid wash, or I don't know what you want to call this design. I picked these up that same day. I actually picked up that FootJoy sweater. I paid I paid half off for $6, so it would have been $3 on these. Forgot it was half off day. And PRPS has like some, I don't know what that person is. Person on a crutch or something there. Or angel on a crutch. I can't tell what that is. Oddball thing, but these pants sell very well. I usually pick these up here and there, and I'll find them, and they usually sell for a very good price. The inseam you see right here too is also a good selling point. There were 36, 35s, and they sold. I mean, I took a best offer of these. Like I said, I paid three, and we sold them for $55. I had a lot of offers right around that 40 to 50 range, going back and forth with somebody, and I was just one of those days, you're just like, hey, you know what, 55 sounds good. I'm out the door with it. See you later. Thank you very much. And these sold in 13 days. This is a vintage Willis and Geiger brand. Willis and Geiger was a brand that was big up into about 2000 or 99, and it was bought out by Land's End, and they actually went bankrupt. They actually a very high in demand. Certain clothing from this brand with outdoors kind of people. There's the tag, right? This is this specific tag, but this is for just the jacket. Willis and Geiger, really good high-end men stuff. I've sold pieces from them, very high-end. This jacket had a bunch of different issues. Would have had like leather trim on it, but it was in good condition. The zipper on the front zipper did not work, but it does button up, so it would have needed repair. And there was a few light spots and bleach spots on the arm, but I wasn't gonna leave it behind because I know the brand does sell, and there is a following for this brand. Somebody would get this zipper fixed. It was missing some teeth, I believe, on the thing. It just wouldn't work properly. So we paid $7 for it. It was listed about 2 months, and I took a best offer of $75. So we've sold leather jackets up into like $400 on this brand. It's a great brand. Some pieces do a lot better than others. The poppin' cotton, like hunting shirts, will do a lot better in khaki and green, or the photographer shirts, so they call them. And some of the other jackets and stuff like that do very well. A lot of it's out there, and they just don't bring as much as some pieces do. But great brand. This is a Brooks Brothers 818 Milano cut men's seersucker cotton. This was a weird size, 38 short. You see right here. This is one of our newer pictures of getting the pictures for Poshmark to what do you call it? Squaring the pictures, which is fairly easy actually, just going into your phone and finding the one-to-one application. It was unstructured here. You can see the tag. Brooks Brothers 818. 1818 is the line. Milano is the cut. There's a smaller size, 38 short, which is really weird. Cotton. This is a seersucker material, or seersucker pattern. It's textured, striped usually. You can feel the stripes on it. They're textured. You know what textured is. This is just a double-breasted men's blazer. Technically, this would be a blazer, and had these really nice mother of pearl buttons. For this jacket, anyway, seersucker jackets are usually just tops. There's some of them that have matching bottoms, but this sold really quick in a day. We listed it and it sold overnight. I got a best offer of $70. I was in this for $10. I was happy to move it. This is a men's Loro Piana shirt, long sleeve, just your regular men's dress size, 16.5 by 35, gray check. This was really hard to come out on the white background, but here it is here. It was a very light grayish color. Had this like little check inside of a check pattern. Size tag, and then there's the Loro Piana size tag. We had a lot of interest in this shirt. It would never get any offers on it, or so on and so forth. We paid $5 for it. It took about 2 to 3 months to sell, but we did get a best offer and sold it for $75. I was going back and forth with a few people on Poshmark, but it still sold on eBay first. So I was happy with that. 75 for a men's dress shirt. I'll take any day of the week. This is our first Joseph A. Bank suit we sold. This is a signature collection. It was a pinstripe jacket or suit, bigger size, 50 long, which is good. Anything over 48, I really like. This costed us somewhere between $10 and $15. I don't remember. It's been listed a little while. It's been listed probably going by our inventory number about 3 to 4 months. And there's the size tag on the inside. There's a lot of these Joseph A. Bank suits and stuff out there, so you really have to be careful with which ones you pick up. Most of our stores ask a crazy amount of money for Joseph A. Bank stuff, so I pass on a lot of it just due to price. This sold for $90, and I pick and choose what pieces I pick up. I like the bigger sizes in this brand for sure. I don't really care for the smaller sizes all that much, but there is a market for it because they are such a store that's out there. The name is familiar with people, and they're kind of like starter suits for people for the most part. This was one we picked this up actually in Orlando at a little estate sale while driving to Tampa, St. Petersburg area one afternoon. This was on a Sunday at some estate sale that's already been going on for like 2 days, I think. We just stopped because it was on the way to the flea market in Lakeland. It was early in the morning. This is just a Joseph A. Bank suit. It was like their cotton and wool blend. It was very called summer, I don't know, tropic or something. Tropical blend. It was breathable pant. The thing was, they always have these crazy high prices, which they're nowhere near those price. You can go in there and buy. They start off at a high price. If you ever been at Joseph Bank, and it's like you go in there, it's a sale day, and they're like 50% off all suits, and then they're like, yeah, buy one suit get two free. So these things are why you see a lot of them because they actually become very cheap. Anyway, make a long story short, you see right here the size is a 48 long. The pants were worn, but the jacket was not. But they had the pants hemmed to a 27. If you ever know a long and the inseam to these do not work out very well. It's kind of it's not good. You got to find somebody kind of with long arms and a short legs almost in a way because there's not really anything to take out the inseam on these to make them longer because they were hemmed up and cut away. So I was happy actually to move this. I didn't know that till I got it home and measured it and listed it and realized, oh wow, this is going to be an interesting one. But I took the first decent enough offer that came through. Like I said, we paid 5. This was listed about 3 months. I took a best offer around $90 on this. This is a funny story. We've had this for probably every bit of 2 years. This is a Meldo Gildo Zegna cashmere jacket. It's a 42 regular. There's a lot of these jackets out there. This is the older Zegna too. This was made for Lewis of Boston, which was a department store in Boston, which is no longer actually in existence. They actually closed a year or two ago, and it was not a. It's pretty decent looking. It's like a smoky charcoaly gray with this window pattern. But this thing was up for a while. It sold once or twice, and nobody paid for it. I recently ran this on auction 3 times, twice at $10 plus shipping, and then once at $5 plus shipping, and no one bought it. Listed it back, and messed with the price a little bit, and took a best offer the other day of $80 plus 10 to ship. So I was happy with that. Really crazy, but just goes to show you a lot of the older Zegna stuff is really kind of hard to move. For myself, I've never had the greatest time trying to move the older Zegna stuff. This is a vintage polo by Ralph Lauren. This is 90s. Has the Suez. It's just a down jacket, but the patch makes the whole jacket. Has the Suicide Ski patch cookie. You probably could have put that in the title. I did not. See right there. This whole little patch just makes the jacket. It's a little. They call the Suicide Skier. This is just a regular puffer jacket. Other than that, see the older tag right here. And I showed a bunch of different pictures. I had one guy actually buy this. He lived in Canada. He bought it, paid for it, and then asked for a refund because he was afraid he was going through a divorce and his wife, his ex-wife or soon-to-be ex-wife, was ripping up and tearing up all his clothing. So I gave him his money back. I felt sorry for the poor bastard and just relisted it. I had a lot of questions on it, a lot of interest, but nobody pulling the trigger. We got a best offer the other day of 185. It took about 2 months to sell. I took the 185, and we paid $15 for this. It's coming into summertime. I really would like to move any and all jackets I have as much as possible, because otherwise they're probably not going to sell too much over the summer. We have sold jackets and stuff like that over the summer, but the market definitely does slow down for sure. These Reebok pumps, we found 3 different pairs of them last week. I sold them all in a day. I was actually going back and forth. I thought I had them sold on Instagram to actually a semi-professional basketball player, but did not work out. These ones, this one pair here, they were like white and maroon. They were already worn once or twice, and then we had this pair, this blue and white pair, and then we had this sample pair that was blue and white also. These were all, you got to remember, these were all from the 90s. I believe they were all from 93-ish. And, when you get into this, we could have the same issue that happened with the Vasquez boots happen with these shoes. So I went out and I talked to a seller that was interested in them. I took like I said here, dead stock, never worn. Please wear these shoes at your own risk. Shoes are older than 20 years old. I'm not responsible if you wear these in better judgment. Decide to wear them, blah, blah, blah. But they were understandable. They want them as display. And we wind up shooting an offer. And these sold, I paid $40 for these, the 3 pairs approximately. And we sold them for $550 shipped. They were going overseas, so I believe the buyer was in China. They went through one of these other places that ship off to them. So I was happy to move them. I was happy with the sale. Very quickly, they knew what they were, and what they were getting, and I was happy with that. Hopefully there'll be no issues. As we did talk about that. This was an item we bought this in October. We had this just for whatever reason it never got listed. We don't have death piles or anything like that. This just got placed under the table that we take pictures of, and something was laying on top of it, so we didn't notice it and see it. I picked this up at a estate sale. It was probably one of our better estate sales. I still sell stuff on this estate sale. We picked up this and a bunch of printers, video games. I mean, a bunch of clothing, video games. This was a Sony digital Snap Lab thermal printer. You can see right here, it has all the paperwork. It has manuals, has the tray, has a roll of extra film, or not film, but paper. The machine worked as far as I could tell. I could not get it for whatever reason to read the um, one memory card we had. So I took a bunch of different pictures. I even took the picture count of this thing, which was very low actually, at 332. This was actually used at a dealership, a car dealership, for taking pictures of before and after body work was done on vehicles to show their work. I sold it as parts are not working due to the issue. I kind of priced it up high because I was the only person with one of these on eBay at the time. But with it not working properly, most of them was selling between probably 150 and 300 in non-working order because I could not test it. Lit up, worked. It seemed to it would work, but it might have been something to do with the software that needed to be updated or something like that. And most of them was selling. I don't think the most any of them sold for was around $400. I took a best offer this route, probably going back and forth with a buyer for $320. I had $50 shipping on it. They were fairly close, so I actually made about $20 on the shipping. Also, I had to double box this and make sure it was really well secure, and that's it. So, oh, and also I paid $40 for this, and like I said, it took 4 days to sell once we did list it. And I also did get this with this. This was a box of print, the rolls of film or whatever you call it, the rolls of printing pack, self laminating, and had these little like toner cartridges that went with it. So that was this. I sold this for $100 back in January. And this came with that. This was the reason why I bought it. I didn't look it up. I just scanned this, and this showed up like 110 or $120 on Amazon. I was like, oh, I'm not gonna lose my money. If anything, I'll make this and just send this in Amazon. And when I realized I couldn't even send that into Amazon at the time, but get back to the chat, see if there's anything going on over there. But let me see what's going on in the chat. Hello, chat. Hello, Adam, Tennessee Picker. How you guys all doing? Yeah, Adam. Sometimes it's weird. You can try to sell things for as cheap as possible, and somebody still does not want them. Hello, England. A lot of England in the chat. How you guys doing? Uh, I've only found two good ties: a Versace and a Donald Trump. Donald Trump sold. Still at the Versace. Yeah, ties are very odd. Ties in essence are probably the longest tail item to sell clothing wise. But we got Ireland in here today. We got England in here today. How are you guys doing? Thank you for the super chat there, Zena. Really appreciate that. Really nice of you. But I think okay. If you're not subscribed, what's up, Denim? How you doing, brother? Uh, yeah, Tennessee. I took a best offer that at 320. Just comes up that whenever you do that. 600 would have been probably. They seem to be going a lot more. When I picked those up, they were selling for a little bit better price. Chad, seersucker is a material. It's textured. It's cotton. It's textured cotton, basically, and it's made of suits and pants for the most part. Occasionally, you'll come across a shirt, and it's usually blue and white striped, more of like a summery boating kind of thing. But do you sell vintage lingerie? No, I do not. Um, I've never picked up a piece of vintage lingerie. For some reason, big hairy guy going through the women's lingerie section is a little. I think that might freak out some people. I don't need the police being called on me inside of a thrift store. That's for sure. But if you guys had any questions, let me know. I'll give it another minute or two, and then we'll let it go. But how you doing there, South London reseller? What time is it over in London? Because there's a bunch of you in this chat today, this morning. My wife wants to go back to London. Her best friend lives over in London. 4:35 in the morning or nighttime? No, it's nighttime, right? Afternoon. Yeah, afternoon. Okay, that's why you guys are over here. For a moment, I was thinking it was like early in the morning. I was like, "Whoa, what are you guys doing?" But anyway, I'm gonna get going off of this. But like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification button down below. Have a good day. Thank you guys for coming out. See you. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. I think I just said that again. We're just being repetitive at this point. Have a good day, everybody. See ya.